Second World War. Its long-barreled 75mm cannon is deadly, even at long range. It's protected by 80mm of frontal armor, welded at a steep 50-degree slope, making it almost invulnerable to frontal attack.
The Panther
was, and this was pretty well known, the most functional and best tank in the war, based on 3 components: gun velocity, cross-country mobility, and armored protection.
Geländegängigkeit und Panzerschutz.
But those advantages won't help these Panthers. Their frontal armor won't do them any good. They're side on to the Shermans and highly exposed. The Sherman has a short-barreled, less powerful 75mm gun and thinner 51mm armor plating, making it vulnerable in a head-on battle with the Panther, but deadly at close range if they catch the Germans off guard. For wireless operator Phil Lawrence and the other rookies of the Sherbrooke Fusiliers, this will be their first head-to-head encounter with the enemy.
We heard from the infantry that there were some Panther tanks coming. And the tanks were fairly close. They're about 900 yards, 1,000 yards away. And meanwhile, I'm trying to wake up my gunner. The captain got us all lined up. Each of us was given a target. And I'm kicking him in the legs to try to get some life into him. By this time, the order to fire's been given. And my gunner is fast asleep.
June 6, 1944, D-Day. Canadian tanks and infantry land at Juno Beach in Normandy under intense fire. They take heavy losses, but overrun German defenses and move inland. The Allied plan is to encircle and destroy the German forces in Normandy, with the Americans swinging west, while British and Canadian forces push south towards the strategically important city of Caen. Leading the Canadian advance are the tanks of the 2nd Canadian Armored Brigade. A few kilometers inland, they encounter a column of German Panther tanks.
The tanks were fairly close. They're about 900 yards, 1,000 yards away. By this time, the order to fire's been given, and my gunner is fast asleep. It's very scary. And the crew commander's batting him with his head with his hands to wake him up. He said to the gunner, you useless son of a bitch, you are now the co-driver. Try and get in there and don't get in anybody's way. And finally, he traversed around and fired. You know, the tank goes up on its springs, and the gun recoils and runs out, and the turret fills up with fire and smoke, makes a tremendous row. It's very scary. It wasn't so much a battle as it was an ambush. Those poor buggers never knew what hit them. I mean, one minute they're riding along, one behind the other, and the next minute, you know, everything's on fire. They fought them in a way that we thought was kind of stupid. They used to sit side on.
The Panther has just 50 millimeters of side armor, about half as much as it has in front. Head on, a Panther can withstand almost any Allied attack. but catch it side on and at close range, and it's very vulnerable.
He could knock them off easily. All 9 Panthers were knocked out like that. I thought, wow, this is a breeze. This is a great, I like this. We'll be on our way to Berlin next week.
But the Canadians are about to get a surprise of their own. Rushing to meet them with orders from the German High Command to stop the Allied advance are units of the newly formed 12th SS Panzer Division, led by some of Hitler's most experienced tank commanders. The 12th SS is equipped with 48 Panthers, dozens of heavy guns, and almost 100 Panzer IVs.
The SS were a rough lot, but they were very good at what they did. If you make a mistake, they'll kill you.
We knew that it was our duty as soldiers of the German Wehrmacht to serve, whether we thought it would be successful or not. This was none of our business.
The 12th SS, also known as the Hitler Youth Division, is led by Kurt Meyer, a decorated veteran of the Eastern Front, with a reputation as an aggressive and ruthless tank commander. His troops call him Panzer Meyer.
Battalion after battalion arrived. The soldiers waved at me. They were moving forward to their baptism of fire in a calm manner. They showed no self-pity. They were determined to prove themselves.
D-Day +1. Kurt Meyer and his panzers take up positions in the historic 12th century Abbaye d'Ardenne. There in the monastery gardens, the 12th SS Panzer Division lies in wait for the tanks of the Sherbrooke Fusiliers, who are supporting the North Nova Scotia Highlanders, slowly advancing en route to Caen. From high atop the Abbey Tower, Kurt Meyer can see them coming.
He climbed up the tower of the Ardennes Church. The Abbey is 67 meters above sea level. The church itself is 26 meters high. He was able to see all the way to the western end of Juno Beach.
The terrain as far as the coast was spread before me like a sand table. The whole expanse looked like an anthill.
He noticed the Canadian troops advancing.
I then saw what was happening. My God, what an opportunity. I issued orders to all battalions, the artillery and the tanks, fire on my command only.
The squadron stopped, they had snacks, they ate. The Canadians had no protection on their flank.
The tanks were right across the front of our regiment. The barrels of our guns were pointing at them. Then I gave the signal for the attack.
All of a sudden, bang.
The Canadians were caught off guard. They seemed totally surprised.
There was so bloody much smoke and tanks burning that